short bits. I'm going to do a reading from my new nonfiction book, Tomes of Terror, Haunted Bookstores and Libraries. It's Canada, the US, and globally. And they're tales told as true, or true ghost stories if you prefer. Then I'm going to read from my forthcoming novel, I, Death, a very, very short scene. And then I'm going to go back and do a dark humor piece, which is a look at what might happen if Frosty the Snowman actually did come to life. So I will start with, from Tomes of Terror, The Portal, and this is Bob's Beach Books in Lincoln City, Oregon. As a bookseller, you never know who will come into your store, and if you're at Bob's Beach Books, you don't know who might never leave, at least not via conventional methods. About two years ago, on an afternoon not significantly different than any other, Diana Portwood was working in her store when an older couple came in. The cash desk was located on the right side of the entrance, so Diana had a clear view of all visitors as they entered and left her store. "Good afternoon," she greeted them as they walked in. "Can I help you find anything?" Diana casually observed the couple, who appeared to be in their mid-60s, noting they were not unlike a lot of couples who came into the store. However, they were perhaps dressed a bit more conservatively than most people wandering into the beach area store. The woman was wearing a sweater and a long skirt, while the man, with his sweater, elbow patches, white hair, and beard, struck Diana as the professorial type. "No thanks," the woman said. They walked past the front desk and went straight up a set of 3 steps into the back half of the store. They were wandering around for about 20 minutes before Diana approached them again. "Are you sure there's nothing I can help you find?" she asked. "Is there a certain type of book or book you were looking for?" "Well," the woman said, "we're not exactly looking for a book. We're looking for the portal." "The portal?" "Yes, the portal." The woman then explained that they had been doing research for years and had determined that the portal to Lemuria was here in Lincoln City. "The portal to Lemuria?" Diana asked. "Exactly," the woman said. "Lemuria. We've been following the energy and it has led us here. We are certain that the portal is contained within a bookstore right here in this town, but we're having trouble finding it." The woman mentioned that they were also considering trying the other bookstore located just a few miles down the road, but they were certain that the energy said the portal would be in this particular location. Diana, having been surrounded by books her entire life, could certainly understand the intense allure that books might have. Why wouldn't a bookstore be the ideal place for a portal? The woman then suggested that maybe the portal was under the stairs. Speaking for the first time, the man wondered if they should perhaps give it another walk around before checking out the area under the stairs. "Well," Diana said, "just let me know if you need anything." At that point, Diana turned and walked back to the cash desk to sort through some paperwork, and she never saw the couple again. There's no way in such a small shop that Diana could have missed seeing them leave. They just disappeared somewhere in the store. They didn't seem anything but normal, Diana said when I interviewed her in March 2014. She explained that their behavior was not in the least erratic, that their speech and movements were all normal, and that they seemed most certainly sane, except for their insistence that there was a portal in my bookstore. Diana laughed. "You never know who's going to come into your bookstore." Were the old couple investigators who had indeed discovered a special portal in Bob's Beach Books, drawn by a mystical energy that led them to a gateway to an ancient long-lost land known as Lemuria? Or were the couple not even of this world, the 2 specters joined in some beyond-this-life quest to find the plane of the afterlife? Diana isn't sure, but she'll never forget what they looked and sounded like, and in the 2 years since this incident occurred, has not yet seen them again. I, Death is a novel about a teenage boy who believes he has a death curse, and his girlfriend has dumped him, and woe is me, and guidance counselor suggests that he take up journaling to try and deal with some of his angst. He also has had a lot of people close to him die, and he believes it's because he has a curse, and that people that he loves and gets to know end up dying. So a good portion of the novel is Peter O'Malley blogging about his angst. And this is the blog entry from Saturday, January 21st, 2012. I was considering when I wrote about Hamlet and my thoughts about his little monologue and how it made me feel. It actually did help, and I think I need to get back on track like that again. I think I need to express a bit of my pain, but not just today's pain, the pain that I've lived with my entire life. I think in order to understand this, to come to terms with what's happened, I need to go right back to the beginning, right to the first person that was taken away from me, to the beginning of this chain of death and misery. My mother died during my delivery. As the story goes, there were some complications. The umbilical cord had wrapped itself around my neck and nobody had noticed. My mother was told that her baby had died in the womb, but that she had to give birth to it anyway. She was screaming hysterically. It took everything that my father had just to calm her down. The doctors then talked her through delivering her stillborn child. Although she did what they told her, she kept screaming through the whole process. At one point, in the middle of the final push, she let out a gut-wrenching scream, which happened to be her last mortal contribution to this world, and my head finally cleared her cervix in a huge rush of blood. Pushed down in the full flow of blood, the rest of my body came out so fast that the doctor and nurse who'd been ready to receive me didn't catch me. I landed on the floor with a wet, slurpy thud, and the strangest thing happened next. I started crying. The labor room staff were mystified. Somehow I'd come back from the dead just as my mother had breathed her last breath. I'm told that my father didn't even know of my successful birth, even as the staff scrambled to pick me up, cut the umbilical cord, clean my eyes, ears, and mouth of the birthing fluid. Despite the loud and unwavering crying I was making, he was completely unaware. He just held my mother and cried his own crying much louder than my own. Welcome to the world, Peter. So as you can see, it's a very uplifting novel. You can actually read the entire book. I'm rolling it out on Wattpad for free. My publisher has given me full permission because it's a small press and he's open. And I'm posting a new section every day, so by the time the book's out in the middle of October, you'll be able to read the full thing.
On the sky and heaven.